For today's story, we're discussing the New York City Law School that has removed the profile of an attorney because they worked with Depp team. The City University of New York deleted a profile of a graduate who was the youngest member of the Johnny Depp legal team in that defamation trial against Amber Heard. And I'm going to try to get this name as close as I can. If I mispronounce it, I apologize. Yarleyn Mena, who's 29, which, she's been a lawyer only for basically a couple of years. She's a 2015 graduate of the City University of New York's Hunter College, and also, of course, a law associate of Brown Rudnick, was originally touted for her work in helping Depp win the $10 million verdict. I mean, that is a major accomplishment for a young lawyer. They've only been a lawyer for 6 years, and they are part of this team helping Johnny Depp to win his case. That's a big thing. The show of support for the graduate, however, went out the door after the City University of New York said it received concerns from students and faculty over the profile piece as they offered an apology. The university said, quote, "We understand the strong negative emotions this article elicited and apologize for publishing the item," the public university system said in a statement replacing the story to a link to a story on Mena. The article was not meant to convey support for Depp, implicitly or otherwise, or call into question any allegations made by Amber Heard. Domestic violence is a serious issue in our society, and we regret any pain this article must cause. So you can see just how deep this wokeness goes. And I tell you, my friends, I don't know if it was the law school I went to. I don't know if it's because I went to law school between 2004 and 2007. But I mean, this level of wokeness was not a thing. Maybe it's a thing now at the school I went to. I don't know. But they had to apologize for bringing attention to the fact that one of their students, a graduate of their college, was successful as a lawyer in helping Johnny Depp because it might bring attention to the wrong things. Now, they say domestic violence is a serious issue, but it's not a serious issue when it happens to men, because remember, Johnny Depp has claimed, and there's quite some evidence to support the proposition, he was a victim of domestic violence. So where's all the wringing of the hands for the Johnny Depp domestic violence? Nowhere to be seen, right? This is a picture of the law student, law graduate in question. I will take note here that from the position of the woke, she appears to satisfy several different criteria of the intersectional hierarchy. She appears to be a woman of color, and she's very successful. And so you would think that they would want to trumpet the success of a woman of color, because that would satisfy the wokeness, but she's on the wrong team. So we can't show any support of her, because that would be questioning Amber Heard and not showing that we take victims of domestic violence seriously, even though we're not going to spend even one moment's thought on the consideration that Johnny Depp is a victim of domestic violence. We're not taking that seriously. That's how deep the wokeness goes. We're not willing to trumpet one of our own students who actually exposed the truth using the system the City University of New York's law school is supposed to be, profiting support of. In the original article, which was published on August the 3rd, the headline, "This CUNY graduate was the youngest lawyer to serve on the Johnny Depp legal team." It included an overview of Mena, the daughter of 2 lawyers who came from the Dominican Republic. Okay, so she's an immigrant on top of everything else. Okay, who earned her law degree from Fordham University. In the article, she described her role in the legal team. "I worked with the team on the opening and closing and was the master of the facts of all the evidence. If someone needed pictures or text messages, I would look them up and assist everyone as I went along." Sounds like she's a very, very valuable member of the legal team. Sounds like she's really, really good at her job. Sounds like she was able to get some justice for someone in a very difficult to win case, but it supports the wrong narrative, so we can't bring any attention to it. She added the legal team was incredibly focused on the trial and were mostly unaware of the spectacle it become, adding that in the aftermath, it was exciting to know such a big case was the first one she got to appear in trial. I would imagine that's quite exciting, yes. "I am a third-year associate and fortunate to have worked on a trial so early in my career. Most cases don't go to trial." That's true. And of course, of the ones that do go to trial, how many become Johnny Depp? Not many, ma'am. We were focused on the case around the clock and almost lived in a bubble throughout the trial, so the pressure from the spotlight didn't affect us much day to day. We are a tight-knit team that's kept each other grounded and fixed on our client's need. Now, this is totally believable because trial teams tend, well, especially in complicated trials, and other trials are not necessarily an exception. But let's just say it's not unheard of for lawyers in a trial team to basically spend their every waking moment around a conference table or the equivalent working on the case, that you have basically a war room where everyone is working or working in relation to, and basically pulling these extremely long hours. Litigation, in particular, is known for a lot of wait and hurry up, right? And it's known for it's known for the crunch, like in the same way video game development is known for the crunch. When you're getting to the release date, there's a lot of activity that's very, very close to it, and it can be some extremely long hours. So yeah, the idea that they were living in a bubble and unaware of the media spectacle, totally believable, actually. The article also included tips from Mena and other students on how to stand out in law school applications and avoid the pressures of college. Well, we don't want to have those tips because she was on the wrong team, because she wasn't taking victims of domestic violence seriously. Also, Johnny Depp who? Thus, that brings us to the end of our discussion of Yarleyn Mena, pictured here, who appears to be a woman of color and apparently is a child of immigrants. And, that would seem to be something that the Intersexual Coalition would be severely pleased to trumpet. Look at the success of this person. Look at how great they did. Look at how they were able to achieve so much in so much time. Look at how great a school we are to provide such great opportunities and provide the education and background that would lead someone to rely on her. And then she actually goes to show the reason that we, had trust in her in the first place to want her to be at our school. But no, because if we trumpet her, it shows we're not taking victims of domestic violence seriously. Also, Johnny Depp domestic violence, what? Yeah, so this is just an interesting story to point out how the wokeness has gone and how the things they claim to care about are not the things they actually do care about. They don't actually care about people of color. They don't actually care about women. They don't actually care about immigrants. All they care about is the narrative. And if you're not supporting the narrative, then I guess you are just complicit in the whiteness. And that, for the moment, brings us to the end of discussion of this story.